Hello and welcome. I'm Bill Wake. We're here working on a project to assess the similarity of tunes of various sorts. And one of the ways we're doing that is with what's known as a Parsons code. So far, we've developed it, it looks like this. So a tune goes, it starts at the start and goes up, down, up, stays the same, repeats, up, down, and stays the same again. So that gives us a pattern for a tune. We did a simple linearization so far. So you can see the star and the slashes and the upper and lower bars. They're corresponding to up, down, and repeat. And then each character is preceded by Z for zero, P for positive, and N for negative. I don't have any negatives in there, but it would mean it goes down two levels. So notice that the it goes UDU, so the U and let's see, the U to D. Sorry, it's going arrow up or a line up and a line down. They're on the same line in effect. Okay, we want to make this look like a real graph, like this. Okay, up, up, repeat, repeat, up, down, repeat. Okay, so so far we just have that linearized form where we have the right characters to put in, but we don't use the vertical dimension. I'd like to do that today. The linearized form is kind of my simplified, I don't know, translation of the Parsons code to the pieces of a graph. And it really is intermediate. Once we get the 2D one, I imagine I'll throw that away. Okay, so let's give it a go. All right. So one line code for Parsons graph. Let's go see our tests. Okay, so here we are. CCCGGGFFF. That's a couple of repeats, goes up, repeats, goes down, repeats. Okay, so we've tested all these combinations of ups and downs and ups with repeats and multiple repeats and so on. Okay, so what I want to do, well, let's see. Let's go to Parsons graph. I want to make an intermediate step. So what I'm going to do is the Parsons graph is going to continue to produce this sort of linearized code, but it's also going to produce the graph, and we'll start making assertions about the graph. And once we're completely happy with the graph, we'll drop this linearized form. Okay, so it's my intermediate step. And the linearized form is kind of what I could tell somebody, don't go up or down, 0, don't go up or down, do a star. Negative, go down, and so on. So let's go to Parsons graph. And, okay, so this, whoops. I want to go to this type. Okay. Right now it just has a string contents, and we say draw distance and character. Okay, and so we're tracking that that distance as you go. Okay. Right. So I think I want to do as string. Let's add a graph and make an assertion about what that looks like. And all right, let's put that in a test. Parsons graph, Parsons code report. Well, okay. I mean, that's doing that stuff. All right, let's see how we do it here. We call check graph. Okay, so report.graph. Okay, Let's go there. Okay, it creates a Parsons graph. And what does it produce? It produces a Parsons graph. Okay, so that's the thing we can ask. Gets the graph expected. Oh, and they're equatable. Okay. So I think maybe we can do pieces of this as it goes. Well, I'm imagining there's this sort of block thing. I don't know where I should be drawing this. um, so we want our reports to look like this: a graph on the left, and the title of the song, and then actually we also want the code, the linear code, star U U D D D D R, the true Parsons code. We'd like that underneath the title. Um, so we can kind of skim down the graphs and look for similarities. So I'm imagining the left hand side as this block, and it starts here is 0, and an up goes up 1, and an across can go across, and a down, down, down. When we start, we just know we have one line, the 0 line, and as we go, we're going to add in. We're going to say, "Hey, go up 1." All right, and this one will add in a new line here. Now these are over bars, and they're on the same line, and so on. But we know that because we got that NZ stuff that tells us the exact same data. But I need to grow it as well. This one's 3 tall, okay, because it's got this one, and this one. All right. I don't know. Maybe I should develop those by themselves. I'm definitely imagining something for them. I don't know. Let's see. I'm also imagining that you'll be able to paste them together vertically or horizontally. So multiple instances become vertical, and this stuff becomes horizontal. Um, all right. So let's see. I don't know. Maybe it's its own class. Let's do that. So I'm going to define an object that you can draw into, and you put things in coordinates, and it builds up the lines if it needs them. Okay, and we'll start using it as soon as we can. All right. So I don't know. This is not. I don't think I would call it domain. I'm going to leave it out in the middle there for now. All right. So let's start with the test. And I don't know what this thing is. It's a character grid, maybe. Maybe I can just say grid. Grid tests. Okay. And oops, indent. Why the template? I don't know. Maybe 2 spaces is not a normal indent, and I'm weird. Okay. Test. All right. So the kind of test I want to do is, I want to say it starts with one empty row. Okay, and so I'm going to say grid let var equal, oh, let grid equal grid. Okay, and grid dot assert. Well, I want to say it's got no lines, no positive lines, no negative lines, and no width. Let's try XCT assert equal grid dot height should be 1. Grid dot width should be 0. let's start with the width. I don't know, because this one I'm going to be more. I don't know. Do I care about these? I'm going to say grid.as string should be empty string. Okay, one line. Okay, I think that's a starting point. So it's important to me that it tracks which where the zero axis is. And the reason I care about that is that I said I want the zero axis to align on the two parts. So I need to be explicit about where it is. Okay. And also I need to know coordinates and stuff. All right. So let's create the class. Oh, new file is Swift class grid. Okay. And we'll need width, height, and as string. I'll do it like this. I don't know. These may become I'm not quite sure how I'm going to manage them, but I want them computed anyway for now. And as string, all right, I'll make every bit of the test fail. Oh, whoops. Oh, we got to modify these. Got to put these tests in their place. Needs to go in shared tests. Okay, grid test, good. Okay, so let's repair this. The width starts 0, height is 1, string can be empty. Okay. Okay, now I want to conceive of these as an array of strings. So let's just introduce that here. Public, no, it's not even public. Let's just do var body is array of string equals one string empty. The width, I don't know what I care about. Height is definitely body dot count. Okay, because it's got one line per thing. All right, and as string, let's return well, let's return body sub 0. That should all be okay. But then I want to make the axis somewhere. Okay, so whoops. Let's make an axis, not private, but or public, but private var axis, and that's the index of the axis row. All right, so it starts out 0, and this is axis. For now. Okay. And actually it's really, well, I'm jumping ahead. I was gonna say we could actually compute it because it's all the lines, but let's move on in our test. All right, so we want to put, let's put one character. I don't think I need to worry about throws. Okay, and if we do grid dot put at 0, 0, let's put a star. Okay, and then we expect grid dot to string to be equal to star. Okay, has no member put. Grid has string, sorry. All right, so let's add put. And this is X, Y, and character. Okay, that should fail. Okay. And, well, right now, so I want to make sure the row exists for this thing. All right, so if, well, I guess the row does exist. We only have one row so far. All right, so we're ignoring Y and X. Well, we know that we're putting it at 0 and there's 0 characters still left. That's the proper thing. So we should just be able to append it. So let's say body sub axis equals body sub axis. And I don't know if I can do plus character. If that builds, I have to convert it. Okay. Well, I think that'll put it there. Okay, and pass the test. All right, so we got one row working. Okay, let's change the test. All right, X, Y. So let's move this X to 1 and put a string there. I think the previous test gave us enough stuff that we can do something now. So you could keep the tests around and incrementally add to them and stuff. I'm just kind of pushing it towards more. Oops, this should equal space star. Okay, so I'm trying to assume you put spaces in where necessary. Okay, so um, let's let left equal body sub axis. Let spaces needed equals body sub axis dot count. Well, I'm thinking this. I'm not sure this is going to handle changing characters at a position, but we'll see if we need that. Okay, I think we probably don't care right now. Okay, so I said one. There should be one space, one character. It doesn't have it, so we need that one space. So let's make this be. I don't know. There's a repeating space count x minus body x dot count. Okay, let's deal with that one for now, and then this becomes spaces. I guess we'll call it padding. Okay, and put one character needing padding. Okay, and let's go ahead and just make sure it's arbitrary amounts of padding. All right, I'm gonna do some grid.put. Let's put 0, 0. Let's put a plus, and at 3, 0. Okay, so we got 0, 1, 2, and then 3, 0 is the star. Okay, does this work? Okay, good. Okay. Is that enough? Can we get something like our Parsons code graph out of it now? Let's add a grid. Okay, so that's what we're going to build. I guess I'll make that. Initial value. We're not using it here. I wonder if we use it in the test. Oh, we do, because, okay. Yeah. I'm not sure that's a good thing. All right. So we have the grid. We have the contents. I want to... When you draw... Okay, let's ask for the graph as grid. And that's a string. Okay. Let's return grid dot as string. Okay. Now the graph we get back, we pass in that. Okay. Let's make a new one. This way I can do one at a time. Okay, so check graph, tune string, expected Parsons graph. And I'll say expected grid. And I think I want to say a string there. Okay. And so I want to assert, I want to take an easy one. Do I have one? Yeah. Okay, let's test an empty song. Check graph. One note, so it gets a star. Parsons graph. Z star, the way we're doing it. And then the new thing I want is one line that is a star. Okay, and the way it is now, nobody's using expected grid, so that should pass. Okay, now I want to assert on it. Let's see. So I want to say assert equal code graph dot as string to be equal to my expected grid. Okay, this should fail. Yeah. All right, so this fails. We got a Z star. So right now, code graph as string is the graph tune.first. What is, oh, tune is one lines. Okay, yeah, it has one line. So the graph, let's go to this. Okay, gives us a Parsons graph. The graph, oh, I guess we won't say as grid in our test. As grid. Yeah. Okay, that should change our failure. Empty is not equal to star. Okay, nobody does anything with it, so it's just empty. All right. Now I think we're connected in. All right, so the grid has as string. Yes, that's body sub access. Okay, so let's go in here. And I want to say to draw this thing, we're going to maintain well, we're going to maintain x and y, I guess. Var x of int, var y of int, and we'll start those at 0. Okay. Now, when you go, let's see, draw distance. Okay. Yeah, this does the PZN thing, but really we're saying move up. You always move right by one. Okay, so um, let's say let's see, after you draw, I guess you move right. So X and Y are the current position, so we're going to put those in the grid. Grid.put X, Y, and character. Okay, then we need to adjust. Well, X plus equals distance. Oh, now am I doing this right? No, that distance is before you draw. Okay, so let's oops, I don't know where I got to. All right. The idea is the distance is before you draw. So really this put no, we don't need to worry about that. Okay. We'll update the distance vertically. X doesn't change yet. Y equals distance. Okay. So if it says move up one, it'll say it'll be plus or minus one, basically, the way the calling code works. But we're saying move up and then move X. Okay, because we're moving horizontally across. That is implicit to the Parsons graph. It's not a generic thing. Okay, so with the Parsons graph, we're going to draw one character, move to the right, so we draw the next character in the next column over. Okay, and I think that might do it. Grid.addString. Let's make sure that's, yeah, it's just returning body axis. Okay, I think that'll work. Oh, left was never used. Oh, correct. All right, yeah, test pass. Let's clean this up slightly. Okay, so our test, now we have one Parsons code report test. We got this one test that looks at the grid. Okay, so now CCGG, I kind of want to do just a one line up test, or maybe a repeat test. Okay, let's do that. Let's do CCC. It should be ZRZR. Okay, zero up, and then dashes for these. Who's complaining? Oh, down here. Okay. Parsons graph is not equal to Parsons graph. Well, that's kind of annoying. Code graph. Well, is it Z star ZR ZR? Oh, no, it should be the Z dash. But, well, let's leave it for a minute. Okay, it's the test that's bad, but what it's telling me is I don't have anything that does a custom graph, a custom debug convertible string. So it just gives me this kind of horrible message. So let's look at Parsons graph. And let's make an extension. Parsons graph is custom debug string convertible. All right, it should offer to do that someday. All right, and we just have to put the string we want. All right, well, let's at least put contents for now. Parsons graph contents. Okay. All right. Let's see if we get a better message. Yeah. Okay. It does want the dashes. So let's do that. Okay, so we have a drawing tool that works on one line things. All right, so if I did GC, I'm getting away from an empty song. This is really a song with one line graph. CG goes up, down. That's fine too. Let's do repeat and another repeat. So we get a repeat at the top and the bottom. All right, let's break this out a little. It's a weird spacing rule there. Okay, so C goes the same, goes up, goes the same with that overbar, or overline, I should say. And then the C is down again, so negative that. Oh no, 0 that. And then the repeat is 0 that. Okay. Oh, nope, that doesn't work. Okay, let's back that out. CCC. Okay. The reason I couldn't do that is because when I get the first up, it's supposed to shift to a new line. So let's go ahead the capability. Let's check this in. Report can show one line graph. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna go back to the grid, and I don't know if I should deal with this case of overwriting stuff that's already there. Let's see. What I want to do is say, I'd like to say, all right, let's, what I'm thinking is like, there's something about this that's saying like pad till, you know, it's padding that current line. How can I do that? I don't think I want to worry too much about the space in the overhead of appending some strings because I just don't think it's that high. Can I say it equals pad 2? Okay, so I'm kind of, yeah. Should be extracting it, I guess. It's not public, though. Function pad 2 takes a string and a width produces a string. Okay, so I'm taking this part. Okay, x minus count dot left is the width. No, that's not right, is it? Okay, I'm going to say pad to body x. I just want left. I just want x. I think. Okay, so if I'm saying put it in column 3, I'm saying I want the width so far to be 3, 0, 1, and 2. Okay, so the width is there. Then I need to take the, well, this is string, x minus string dot count. How many characters do you need? Well, take the current count. Let's say it's 1. And I want 3. I got to take 3 minus 1 is 2 and put 2 spaces in. Okay. I think I just returned that. And I don't need the word return if it's that. Okay, so left equals pad 2. I don't need padding here. And this is width. Spacing is funny here. Really? It's that close. Okay. Okay. This should be a no-op. Whoops. Zero, zero is plus. Okay. All right. Is there a pad? Does this exist already? String dot pad. Whoops. Moving characters from the end or by appending as many occurrences as necessary. Starting at. Well, I assume that's the end. String dot padding. To length is width. To length width with pad space. Starting at, I don't know, string dot count. Out of range pad index. Okay, let's go look at. I guess starting at 0 wasn't my guess, but okay. Starting at 0. I don't know. I can inline that just about. Let's take body sub X and X. Sorry, Y and Y. Well, we did 0. Let's take one step. Okay, and then I think this is really Y for us, because we always have Y equals 0 so far. Apparently I'm wrong. 0, 1, 1. Oh, yeah, I'm wrong. Okay, I don't know. I'm not trying to be dense, but I feel like maybe I am being dense. Let's go to another song. Okay, I think the next complexity is let's first go negative. G then C. So it should be 0 star, negative, down. And then we're expecting, well, I'm expecting a 2-line graph. I expect a star, and then a space and a star. I don't know how. I've never checked how the stripping works on this. Insufficient indentation. Oops, that's of line. Oh, so I do have to line up with that. Okay, interesting. Does that do what I think it does? String literal. Yeah. Okay. This paren goes here, and this one goes down there. Okay. Woof. All right. So my hope is it strips the stuff at the front because I'm lining up to the quotes. And it's going to fail because it doesn't deal with 2 lines. Okay. They've changed the way they report their failures. I'm not liking this better. Star down is not equal to star. New line down. Okay. Let's see our Parsons code. Okay, so here we had 0 star n down, -1 down. Okay, and so it should have put y to -1 and character drawn at 1 -1. Okay, and make sure our, I don't think that shows me up here, does it? No. Yeah, I'm really not liking it down here. I want to see it up there. Okay, but it's not equal to the right thing. Okay, so let's see. I think we're doing the right thing here, the draw, but the grid is not. Okay, so the problem is we think we want to draw to line -1, but there's no line -1 yet. And notice I'm using the positive is going up and negative is going down, even though it's going to go lower on the page, is more down. So I don't know, it's just weird. All right, but I should be accessing X. Sorry, I should be accessing Y, body sub Y, but it doesn't exist. Okay, so what I need to do is if axis well what I need to do is append empty lines to get enough lines. Okay, so it's really, I guess axis is 0, that's fine, but I need to know the count, the height. Okay, is body.count. The problem is my height needs to be 2, 1 for the line 0, 1 for the one -1, but body count is only 1. Okay, so I want to do insert lines, and maybe I want to start with a grid test. Let's do that. I'm just going to ignore that test failure for now. I could mark it out, but let's just ignore it. Okay, so let's test test put something below axis line. Okay, so let grid equal grid. If I do grid dot put -2 0 star, then I expect to get back grid.string should be two, three, four. I don't know why that looks different. Oh, how weird. Okay, there we go. It needs to be blank line for 0, blank line for 1, and a star. Let's make this a star. Put it 1. Okay. This test is going to fail. Out of memory. Well, that's an interesting failure, unexpected. All right, I'm going to quit this and restart it. I'll tell you what, it's been about an hour. Let's take a break anyway. So let's take about a 3-minute break, and I will take care of restarting the environment and see if that test still fails like it should. See you in about 3. All right, welcome back. Well, I restarted it, got the same error, but I realized, like, hey, wait a minute, this is x, it should be 1. Excuse me, y should be -2. I'm surprised it didn't get some other kind of crash on that, but that's better. Okay, so we don't have the blank lines. I think it's got a space there. The fonts doesn't show us too much, but yeah. So the problem is the height. Well, let's see. The height needs to be the height needs to be at least as tall as our negative number. Okay, so I would say our height needs to be axis plus 1, because axis is 0, but it's really plus 1 because it's the index of the one line. Okay, so it's index plus axis plus 1 plus the absolute value of y. Let's say ending height is axis plus, I don't know if I need the plus 1, axis plus absolute value of y. Okay, so if y is -2 and x is 0, we're going to say it should be 0 plus 2. We should have 2 lines. No, I think it really is plus 1 plus that. All right, so we have the axis line is 0. We want to add a line for -1 and a line for -2. So the height should be axis plus absolute y is 0 plus 1 is 1 plus 1. Well, no, absolute y is 2. Okay, 0 plus 2. It should be 2 lines added. Okay, let's see. So let's let lines to add equal that, and then well, how do I do this? Okay, so I think I just want to add that to body. For I in 0 ... less lines to add. I think I messed up my syntax here, but body dot append nothing. Okay. All right. Immutable I was never used. Okay, so for each line we want to make sure is there. No, it's still not right computation. I think it'll pass, but it's not right in general. Okay, well, what do I know? Okay. Blank, blank. Space. Okay, so the lines to add. Well, let's oh, body 0. This should be is it golly. This should be 1 when this is -1. And it's really axis plus that. So target Y is axis plus absolute value of Y. Okay, axis is 0. Axis line -1 gets us to 1. And this is target Y. We're only dealing with negative numbers at this point, so it's I guess it's okay. Let's see it pass first. Oh, not even grid. All right, well, what's going on? Empty is not equal to star. Okay, so let's break in here and see what's going on. Okay, so print body. Okay, it's got line 0, 1, 2. The axis should be 0 still. 0. Okay. And then print Y -2. Axis plus abs of Y should be 2. Okay. So target Y says in line 2. Okay, print body sub 2. Make sure we're in range. Okay. Left. All right, let's step over. Print left is 1, and let's print X. X is 1, so it should. I'm going to step over that. Oh, our printing is, our toString is not correct. Okay, this is progress. All right, yeah, this though, I think body sub axis is not enough now. We've just got the one line we're printing. The first line is empty, that's why it comes back nothing. We really want to say body dot separated. No, how's that work? Body dot joined with new lines. Cannot convert return type of expression joined sequence of string. Take that out, continue. Okay. Huh. Well, grid tests. Okay, so we've successfully put in stuff below the line. Okay. Now, well, we got to do above. I guess let's just do it. Okay, grid dot put. Let's make x is 1, y is 2, and we'll put a plus there. Okay, so we expect a space, a star, a blank line for that's row 2, here's row 1, here's row 0. And I don't know, does this read better? Maybe it does. Okay, but we certainly expect this. It's certainly going to fail. Okay. Let's get the right failure. Okay, so this, it put it at line, we don't update the axis, and it's throwing it at line absolute value of y, which is 2, okay, which is not correct. Okay. All right, grid. Okay, so I think what we're this is our case of y less than 0. Then we had to do this stuff before we got going. Okay. Let's do if y greater than 0. Okay. If yeah, all right. If y is greater than 0, that means we're trying to put lines above the axis. But I don't know. I feel like we're not doing it quite right this way, and so we're not. I don't know. Same thing here. Okay. So really, the question is, how many lines do we need to add? Well, we need to say if we've added 2 lines, let's make an example. We've added 1 line. Okay. This is line 1, and then this is axis line 0. All right. And if we said put something in at line 2, then we need to insert 1 line because, sorry, the axis here is at line 1. Okay. This is the line where y equals 0. This is the line where y equals 1. Line 1, y equals 1. Line 0, y equals how do I say this? Line 0, line 1 in the coordinate system of the body. Okay. And y equals 0. And this is the axis is at line 1. All right. So we want to put this in line 2. We need to add 1 line because the axis, if it had a line 2, the axis would be at least 2. Okay. So if y is greater than 0, and axis is less than y. Is that right? Okay. So y is greater than 0, yes, because we want to put this at line y equals 2. Okay, the axis is less than y. Yeah, the axis is only 1. Okay, so we need to, how many lines do we have above? We need to add some lines. Okay, so if axis is 1 and we want to get to 2, we got to add one line, right? And that is y minus axis, I think. Let lines to insert equal y minus axis. Axis. Okay. Lines to insert is y minus axis. Okay, let's change this a little bit. I'm gonna make two lines exist. Y equals 2. Line 1. Y equals 1. Line axis at line 2. Y is 0. Okay. So if I want to insert line 3, I'm going to say take 3 minus 2, which is 1 line to insert. Okay. So let's just do it for this in 0 dot dot lines to insert. We need to body dot insert new element at 0. We need to put new lines in. Okay. And then the axis should increase by 1. Okay. I think I've done it. All right, so we're putting in line 3. Lines to insert is 3 minus 2 is 1. Yes, we want one line added above there. We'll insert that in. And then axis needs to increase by how much we added, which was 1. And that should be good. Okay. Now on the negative case, we don't need to adjust the axis because the axis isn't going to move. Okay. Now target y. Well, this is if axis is greater than 0, it's something. Else, it's less than 0. Okay, so if it's greater than 0, what do we need to do? We need to look at axis minus x, y. Oh, well, that's going to make things better, isn't it? Okay, let's make sure this works. Okay. Support adding positive lines. Okay. So now, axis minus y if it's positive, and axis plus absolute of minus y if it's negative. Well, that's really the same as axis minus y. Is my claim. And that makes this simpler. Okay, I'm happier about that. Okay, now this is a new method. Okay, so it's what are we calling it? It's what are we doing? We are well, I'll say add lines as needed, if needed. Okay. All right. Now my claim is this is not correct, right? Because if we put the same line twice, we don't need to add lines. It's only if it doesn't exist. Okay, so let's make a test that detects this case. Okay, I'm going to put two things. I'm going to put grid.put column 3 line -2 a plus. All right, and so if that's column 1 space plus should be what's needed. Okay, and I think it's going to blow up. I think it's going to produce too many lines. Okay. Yeah, it added an extra line in. Okay, so that's not needed. All right, so if y is less than 0, and I think I want to look at body.count and axis. So if, let's see, how many negative lines are there? I guess that's the question. All right, and the answer is if axis is 0, it's count minus the axis. So there are 3 lines. Well, no, it's -1, isn't it? Okay, if there are 3 lines in the body, all 0 and 2 negatives, then the count of the thing is 3. The axis is 0. 3 minus 0 minus 1. Okay, so if y I guess if y plus, sorry, if axis plus f y is, let's see, so if axis plus abs y, that's the line we're going to write to. If that's greater than the count, actually, if it's equal to the count, right? So axis plus abs y greater than or equal to body.count. Okay, let's make sure that sounds right. Okay, so if lines to add, well, I guess I want to say is less than here. So if I'm going to access a line, it better be, well, no. If it's greater than or equal to the body count, then it's too far down, right? Because you can't access line 3 if the count is 3 because it's 0, 1, 2. So greater or equal. All right, so I guess I'm saying if you try and access a line that's too far down, then you're going to blow up. And really, I don't know if it's better. Like if I said access minus y. Okay, and so this is also minus y. I think that might be sensible. Okay. All right. So in effect, well, there's probably ways to make this better. I mean, I'm seeing something. This x is minus y here and here, and then the opposite. That's really like minus x is minus y. Um, but we need y. Okay. I'll let it go for now. I want to get focused on our content more. All right. So I think, right. Yeah. So we've got something that lets us put stuff in arbitrary places provided we're always increasing. I think that's okay for our application. It may not be a good grid, for arbitrary purposes. But like, should you be able to overwrite stuff? I don't know. Okay. But I think we can work on our tests. That might be enough to do everything we need. Okay. So this song goes below. Okay. So now can we say what this one should be? Twinkle, twinkle. Oh. Okay. So first it starts there, and then it's a repeat. See that. Okay. Then it's positive, and a slash, an overline. Okay, twinkle, twinkle. And then it's another upline. And then it's a down. And then another down. F, F, then another down. E, E, another down. D, D, and then another down. Down. Okay, these have to be doubled, which really makes the readability not so good. Okay. Is that going to work? Okay. I'm going to take this out and put it in a fixed font thing. What do I have that could do that? Can I do a note? Oh, it's really kind of close, isn't it? Did I lose one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines. Oh, I do have a difference here. Okay, let's check our result value. Okay, C, C, G, repeat, A, repeat, G, go down to F, repeat, E, repeat, D, repeat, C. This one is 5 lines. This one, C, repeat, G, repeat, A, repeat, G, F, repeat, E, repeat, D, repeat, C. C, repeat, G, repeat, A, repeat, G, F, repeat, E, repeat, D, repeat, D. Well, that looks really good to me. What's wrong? Is it the last new line? So hard to see these things. Okay, let's see the failure again. Yeah, this one has an extra line. Extra new line at the end. Now I never know which way it tells you. Is it telling me my actual answer, which sure looked like it had a separated by lines? Okay. All right, I'm going to have to extract this, I think. Come on, you can do that. Oh, okay, copy it. Equal that. Let's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, he does have a new line written there, doesn't he? Now, what can I do? Well, let's just stop and look at expected. So expected does not end with a new line. How is it that the graph as string does? He's joined with separator. Okay. Let's continue. All right, let's look. Let's look. Oh, I just really want that one test. Sorry. Let's do the one. In the new line. Okay, let's print x, y dot joined separator new line. Print body. Oh, we got an extra line. Okay. So something went wrong in our adding lines, maybe. So this is -1, -2. All right, let's look in grid. I guess let's break here. And run that same test. Okay, so let's print y. Oh. Y is 0. Okay, so let's return or continue. 0. 1. All right, continue. I'm going until it gets down to 0 again. Okay, it's 0. Now we come in, let's print body. I think the biggest we saw was 2, right? So print body. Oh. Body should have 0, 1, 2. And the axis should be 2. Okay, so we are structured the right way so far. Now, if we continue, 0 again, that's fine. -1. Okay, y greater than 0, no. Else y is less than 0. Okay, y is less than 0, we know is true, but let's print axis minus y. Is 3. And body.count should be 3. Okay, so axis minus y is 3, greater than or equal to 3. Yes, then we should be adding something. So let's step and lines to add. Oh, 3. That's not right. I think it's really 2 to 3. We don't want to add 3 lines. We want to add 1 line because we're only asking to get line -1 created. Okay, so I really think this should be body.count. So that would be 2 Oh, sorry, 3. Well, no, body.count's not right either. It's certainly not 0. It's really body.count. Ugh. Okay, lines to add is 3. 0, 2. That's the line number we want to access. Okay, so it's really that plus 1. Well, if sorry, axis is what? Axis is 2. Minus 1 is 3. And we want to go from how many lines we currently have. It's got to be some function of body.count. I just think it may be body.count is 3, but it's really minus 1. Is that right? Well, okay, let's change that back to 0. Lines to add. Okay. We got to take off the body.count. I want to do this in a way that makes sense to me. Well, what do I think it is? I think it's minus body.count plus 1 or something like that. Okay, so axis is 2. Y is minus 1. So axis minus y is axis plus 3 is 3. Minus body.count is 3. Plus 1 is 1. So I want to add 1 line. Okay. But I really think it's like, how do I think of it? It's like body.count. Okay, maybe this is okay. Axis minus y is the line we wish we could write to. And we can take off all the ones that are already there, but we still need one more for the one that we want. Okay, I'm claiming that's the right value. Okay, where's the tests? Let's take this test again. Okay. All right, now. Okay, so I want to check these other graphs. Okay. All right. 0, C, 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 up a line to G. We need an overline. To repeat the G. Down to get to the F. And then repeat 2, 3. Okay. Good. It's supposed to happen like that, if that's not clear. Okay, so star, then we go up, G, down to F, down to E, up to F, and G. Okay, because the down, let's see. Okay, start, up, down to F, down to E, up to F, up to G. Okay. Okay. And I'm inclined to leave that off here. Right? And now this one. It's a little more straightforward. Well, it's so straightforward, I think I'll just do it this way. Star, new line, space, star, star. Okay, so Z star N down. So star goes down a line, space, and a backslash. Okay. This one is star dash. Well, I don't know, is that helping? This one is star, new line, down, and dat. Those two should be right, and then let's do the third one. Oh. Star, bang. I think I left out a space in my test. Star, and yes, that needs a space. I don't know, maybe these deserve to be laid out. guess I don't anticipate you editing these very much. Space that. Okay, and then this one. Okay, you are. So we got the characters. Star. Go up a line. Slash. Then the overbar. Okay. Okay, looks like star dash dash 1, 2, 3 up. And this is star dash dash down. Okay, so E down to D. Repeat, repeat. That down. Oof. Star down to D. Repeat, repeat, up. Star up. Over, over, down. Okay. Okay, star F over, over, and then up one more. Star da 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 da. Okay, let's check these. Okay, and I realized my to-do is really out of. Let's say 2D graph for Parsons code. So I think we did the grid object, I would say. Okay, so this is TUNE-22-09, September 26. We're hoping this is done. This stuff was part of Thursday's last week. Okay, one line graph that was basically done. I think mostly done was not quite correct there. Okay, 2D graph, multi-line graph. Okay, we're maybe that's as good of an explanation as any. Multi-line graph. Okay, and then this stuff. Okay, I think that's closer. And Parsons code tests. Oh, we got to the bottom of it. Okay. So now, yeah, this is a good place. All right. Let's run all tests. I don't know how I feel about this now. Okay, let's make remaining tests use graph. All right, now I want to refactor some. So I don't think anybody around uses this second form anymore. This one. So he should have no callers. Selected symbols, none. Okay, so let's take out this one. Now this stuff. See, this constructor, like, that was handy for me, but it's not real. Like, nobody gets to come in and just say the graph. We could add it, but it's not not really right. Okay. I'm not saying we don't want it. In a way, I should be passing this multi-line graph. It would be better if that were the thing being done. And maybe we can do that. All right. This Z stuff is meaningless now. Okay. So the draw, like all this PZN and the string stuff, I don't really care about. I certainly don't need to assert on it. So let's remove the assert. Okay. Assert equal code graph. No, that's just not what we want. I think code graph. This is. Let's get its type. Parsons graph. Okay, well, Parsons graph. Is that in here? Yes. Okay. So his debug string convertible. I mean, in effect, when we assert on him, I think we're asserting. What are we asserting? Well, we're asserting equals, right? His contents are equal. And I don't care about his contents. I care that the grids are equal. And maybe that's the thing to prove. Okay. Code graph checks his contents equal. I really should check his grid. Oh, let's say LHS.asGrid equals RHS.asGrid. Okay. Now this should pass because we're still taking. No. Okay. Yeah, these okay, yeah, these all fail because they input this stuff. Is that right? Why are they failing? Okay, let's get to the first one. Parsons graph Z star in blank in bash is not equal to this one. All right, let's change the debug string as well. As grid. So this one is empty because this one has no grid. Yeah, yeah, that's probably what's going on. Okay, because when you create it with initial string, you're setting contents, but you're just leaving grid empty. You're not interpreting it as a bunch of draw commands. Okay. I mean, I guess you could. Let's drive them back to the same, and then we'll strip that out. Okay. So what I want to do is, who calls PZN? Who calls draw? Oh yeah, I really want to interpret that string. I don't want to do it. Well, how do I want to deal with this? Oh. In a way, this constructor is artificial. It overrides the contents, and it's really for testing purposes only. They're the only ones that pass an initial value in. So I'm gonna split this up. Let's make one without an initial value. Okay, so we do that. And now this should be able to say self. I may have to say convenience init or something. Self Yeah. Why can't I ever remember how to do this stuff? Yeah, convenience init parameters. Self.init. Okay. That's more real. Yeah, all those tests are still failing. But this really should be in the testing world. It should be an extension on the other. I'm okay with it here because it's going to go away. But what I'd like to do, okay, yeah, I think what I want to do is create a Parsons graph that takes a grid, and I want to preload my grid. Okay, so let's, how can I take this out? Well, I guess I could remove the assertion. Okay, get things back green. All right. And now I would love to say Parsons grid of this string. Would that be easy enough? Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna say let's pull this over to the test side as I think it should be. Okay, so Parsons code. Let's do a new file. Parsons grid plus init. Okay. And I'll put it up a little bit. Okay. So this thing is going to say extension. Parsons grid. Parsons graph. Come on. Oh, you can't rename. Okay. Parsons. Graph plus init. This is Parsons graph. Okay. That should all. Okay. All right. So move test constructor to tests folder. And I love doing this little move. I mean, it lets me change the initialization I need for my tests, but it lets me keep it out of my real classes where it doesn't belong at all. Okay, now initial value. So I don't want it to be contents. What I want it to be is grid, and grid also doesn't have this. Okay, so I'm going to make a grid extension that takes a body string, and then I'm going to adjust the axis on it. Okay, so I'm going to do the same kind of move because I don't want a grid initializer that does that. I may have to put an empty one in because of that, but we'll see. New file. grid plus init. Okay. And this thing, all right, testable import TuneSim extension grid. And I want to say public init. And I want to take contents of string. And I want to call self.init. Okay, for now, convenience. Yes. Okay. Nobody's calling this now, so it shouldn't hurt anything. Okay. Now, what do I want to do? Well, okay. Parsons code report. I would like, where's our tests? I would like our tests. I would like this to be in the Parsons graph. Right. That shouldn't change anything. Okay, this would have been a good move earlier, maybe. All right, but what I would like to do is, did I comment that out? Yeah, that's almost going to be what I expect. Okay, this should. Where's my grid plus init? Okay, what this should do. The string is a big, long string with new lines. I want to break that up into lines. So let's take contents dot split separator new line. Was it omitting empty subsequences false? Okay, was there more I needed? Separator max splits. I don't care about empty separating, omitting empty subsequences. Right, do not omit them. Okay, let's say grid.body equals that. Body becomes that, and then the axis. And here I'm using, I mean, this is specific to my situation. The axis is really going to depend on which line has the star in it. Okay. So, well, what's the matter? Cannot assign string. Okay, well, let's take contents. We'll split this stuff. We'll map it to string $0. Okay. Now we're going to take contents dot first where $0 that's the string dot starts with $. Okay, and let's do contents dot enumerated. Whoops. Okay, and first where $0. Well, we get the number and the count. Okay, that gives us the first one of those. Count dot 0 Yikes. I know. But I want to say that's the new axis. Closure argument not contained in a closure. Axis, no type. Okay, thanks. Did I do that wrong? Apparently not. Contents is the body. So take the strings, make a list, an enumerated sequence string to type int. Okay. Enumerated sequence of string. So that's a pair of counter and string. Okay. And then first, I should be able to do this pipeline. I want to say for dot. Let's try dot filter. Is included element throws returns a boolean. Now satisfy the given. No. Okay. I'm not sure what's wrong with dot first. Dot first. Where? What's that thing do? Where predicate throws boolean. Okay, so I need a where. Okay, well, I can do it this way maybe. $0 is the number pair. Dot starts with. No, what is going on? Well, let's do it this way. Number string in string dot starts. Is it a string? String dot element. No, that's not right. What's contents? Oh, I want body. Okay, enumerated is string. Okay, that's better. String dot starts with dollar star. Okay. Okay, I get the end string. I get a pair back where the string starts with $sign. I'll take the first thing of the pair, which is the count. So I'm updating the axis. Whew. Okay. I think that gives me a good grid. Let's go back to this other one. Okay, so if instead of that I did grid equals grid initial value, and let's rename this to like grid string. Okay, I think all right, let's take our test, where that got to. All right, let's take the assertion back. Well, as grid is expected grid. Okay, I think that should be okay. That was always okay, right? So it was the first assert that was problematic. All right, let's take this assert back. Now this one I think is going to work for this case. Yeah, okay. So now if, let me put the Parsons graph in for all of them. All right, let's make another. Let's duplicate this again. Okay, I'm not going to have expected grid. Expected Parsons graph. Code graph should be the same. This goes away. Okay. And I'm taking away that last argument. Okay, so now I should be able to take that off the first one. Should work. Take this away. And this one should work. Okay. That one is different. Let's hold off on that one. I don't think he necessarily needs to be, but all right. I think that should be it. Okay. Well, okay, too many of them. Which test failed? Okay, what is it about this one? All right. Oh, he's the Bill Parsons graph one. How about the other ones I got rid of? Okay, where's that Bill Parsons? Check graph that. I think we'll just say Parsons graph of this stuff. He's really no different than the others now. Okay, so nobody's using Parsons graph. Well, nobody's using either one of these two functions. All tests should pass. All right. Make grid allow make how about make grid test initializer that allows graph input of string form of graph use in tests. Okay. All right. So where we are, I think this is a good form of our tests. I'm happy with that. I think we've tested the combinations we care about, and that's fine. This a little bit assert equal code graph. Let's make sure this is Parsons graph and expected. Okay, so Parsons graph. I think I'm less happy here. I'd really rather say grid. So let's move multi-line graph for Parsons code. I think we've done that. All right. So this I want to make Parsons graph use grid dot equals for comparison, not grid dot as string. Okay, so we don't want to say does some attribute of the grid equal another one. We want to say is it the same grid, and let that thing deal with if as string is the right way to do that. That's fine. That won't take us too long, but I think that'll mean the graph, Parsons graph, will be based on the grid. This bit about as string, I don't think as string is used anymore. Parsons graph, remove as string, and the PZN stuff. Contents, etc. Okay, so we'll do some cleanup in there next time. It doesn't affect those tests, but I don't think anybody's using as string. As grid, maybe as grid string. I want to rename that one. Just to clarify the types a little bit. I don't like type names in the types, but I think it's confusing otherwise. Okay. And then, yeah, so the content stuff goes away. I think that's getting there. Then the only thing it's doing is it's kind of keeping track of the X position as it draws. And that's all right. Okay. Thanks for the session today, if you were able to join live. Otherwise, thanks anyway for seeing it. Next time is tomorrow, Tuesday at 12. Sorry. Let's see. Get the times right. 1 p.m. to 3:30 Eastern time, and 6 to 8:30 p.m. UTC. We will pick up on the graph thing. I think we'll do those cleanups pretty quickly and then work on the report for a whole file and having a series of these things. I guess we'll have to work on the appending graph, appending grids horizontally and vertically, and then we'll get the whole file going. I've got an ABC file for the no scaling, the deck the halls research that Fiona Potts sent along, and we'll plug that in. And what that'll do, it won't work because we don't handle a lot of ABC notation yet, but it'll give us some direction to go to get that moving. So, once we handle those notes and all the variations in there, it just gives us a handle because this ABC spec, over 100 pages of stuff, and I'm just not going to handle every variation of notes and things. Some of them we don't care about probably, but there's just a lot of ways to write stuff in here. We don't know about bar lines. We don't know about quotes. We don't know about lots of things. So we'll get that stuff together. And once we've got enough to read no scaling, I'll feel like we're moving along and we can pull more stuff from the Tunes library. So that'll be fun. Anyway, thanks again. Take care. Good night.